Here's the question. How do you make the impossible possible? Simple. Remove the I am, the ego. Now, how do you step into that newfound possibility? With a series of small intentional steps. Never forget, the greatest among us started from humble beginnings. But to truly unlock your potential, realize you're here for something greater. If you're yearning for more than just a good life, let's take that small step together to reach greatness. Welcome to the Greatness from Small Beginnings podcast, where we're talking to those who have gone from mediocrity to motivated, overlooked to overachieving, forgettable to unforgettable. Are you ready? Let's go. Well, hello, everybody. I am back. I keep thinking that I'm going to do a short one. And then the next thing you know, I go on, and that's good. This is, like I say always, this is therapy. This is me figuring life out right in front of you. This is me learning in real time. Well, today I'm just mostly going to read. I'm going to try not to do a ton of dialogue, but I'm going to read from Nick Saban. Great coach. Don't really enjoy Alabama where he was, but he's a great coach. 5 M's of greatness. And this is greatness from small beginnings. How do we get great? Well, we start with small stuff and we work on the small stuff because small things matter and get to something big and wonderful and amazing. All right. His first quote is, if everybody doesn't buy into the same principles, the values of the organization, the same high standards, you're never going to be successful. And I agree with that. There's some standard issues in the company I work in, and I'm one of the owners and the founder. And I look at it and I say, we have standard issues here, and this is a problem. So not sure exactly how they're all going to be addressed, but I'm praying for a miracle, and I might have to be part of that miracle. I don't know. So the first one that he talks about in here is entitlement. Success makes people think they deserve more without doing more. So that's a bad combination. That's definitely entitlement. Success makes people think they deserve more without doing more. Or should I would say without being more. Without being wiser, without being smarter, without a deeper level of understanding that provides value to those around. Next one, entitlement is the belief that past efforts guarantee future rewards. They do not. They do not. Now that and I will talk in this way about a social construct that I don't really believe in. Now I'm nearing the retirement age. I'm looking at this going, okay, well, but I've spent 40 years in the company, more than 40 years. So I do deserve something, right? And so, but what I don't want it to be is entitlement. But it is entitlement if you think about the raw definition of the word. And so what I'm trying to figure out is how I still offer value, additional value that doesn't have a bunch of function attached to it within the company. So still working on that. Next one, greatness only belongs to those who earn it again every day. Ooh, wow, that's a hit to my heart. I want to do more. I want to add value. I want to get better, even at my job, though one day soon, I hope to pass it to someone whose name I don't yet know. But that means I need to be really good at what I'm doing. I need to be at least increasingly better. Greatness only belongs to those who earn it again every day. And then the last one under this section of entitlement says, a quote, you get up every day. You're entitled to nothing. Nothing is acceptable but your best. It's the only way you become the potential recipient of good things. is that putting in your best. Sometimes I lack that. Sometimes I like, I'll just do whatever. And sometimes I got to watch what I'm doing. I have to be more thoughtful about what I'm doing, some of the practical things. Even if I don't love them, I need to still do them. Lack of discipline. This discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. That's true. That's true. So we need to discipline ourselves. The last podcast, I used the word, or a recent one, I talked about self-control. That I won't go too far into this, but the fruit of the spirit is self-control, and it's in Galatians in the Bible, and Galatians 5, I believe, and it lists 9 things, and the last one is self-control. I usually flip the word discipline for self-control because I think it creates more of a thinking atmosphere and a doing things properly and correctly atmosphere than just discipline. All right. Second one, without discipline, talent becomes wasted potential. Oh, wasted potential kills me. Kills me. This is one of the things I'm here on this earth to solve is wasted potential. And so I would say he says without discipline, I'd say without self-control, talent becomes wasted potential. Next, the smallest lapses, being late, cutting corners, losing focus, compound into failure. I can relate with that. I've seen that in me and around me, but in me for sure over the years. And I need to always remind myself, let's bring it back in. Let's bring it back in. All right, the quote at the end here. Run hard when it gets hard to run. Everything starts with discipline. Practice until you can't get it wrong, not just until you get it right. If you don't respect it enough to do it right, when it's the right way to do it, how can you be trusted in a game? The game of life, the game of work, the game at work. How can you be trusted? All right, circumstances over vision. Average performers let circumstances dictate their attitude and effort. Wow. Don't want to be an average performer. I want to always be higher. I want to always think higher and be higher and do more. And that's how we do it, is by not letting circumstances dictate our attitude or effort. Next one, great performers stick to their vision, no matter the conditions. So you set a goal, you set a target, you say, we're going to get here, we're going to do this thing. You have to keep it. You have to keep that. You have to promise yourself and keep it. And that's the self-control thing. And of course, discipline. I want to call it discipline, but self-control. If you want the best and the most, you have to be wise in the way you do it. Your standard doesn't change based on who you play and what the score is or how you feel. It doesn't change. The standard is the standard. The Nick Saban quote, if you want to be good, you really don't have a lot of choices because it takes what it takes. That is true. That's why I think self-control is the key. You've got to be self-controlled. And that might mean working out. That might mean doing more when you need to do more. That might mean going the extra mile. That might mean learning new skills. That's what it often means, is learn new skills and hone in on the skills that I already have, but I'm not good at. For me, it's going a little bit deeper on the things that I'm already doing. Okay, last section. No, second to last section. It's called self-pity. This ought to be good, huh? Fastest way to lose is to feel sorry for yourself. Boy, that is true. Self-pity kills resilience and responsibility. Saban's teams were taught no excuses, no complaints, just the next play. And a quote from him, everybody's got to be responsible for their own own self-determination. If you think that not confronting people who don't do the right things is helpful to your organization, you are absolutely wrong. The moment you think, let's see, and this is on the next section under complacency. That hit me, by the way, because I thought, I probably need to confront some things. So next couple of weeks, I'll put a strategy together, figure out how to deal with it. Complacency is the last section. The moment you think you've arrived, you start to decline. Ooh, that's for sure. I see it daily. Complacency turns champions into ex-champions. Mm-hmm. Hunger and humility must outlast success if you want to stay great. Talk about greatness. Greatness from small beginnings. Stay humble. Stay humble. Quote, complacency creates a blatant disregard for doing what is right. Wow. There's a lot to be learned from this. I'm going to sum it up by saying that we need back to the one of them in entitlement. Greatness only belongs to those who earn it. Again, talking about greatness. How do you become great? You earn it. How do you, and then back on the bottom one here, complacency talks about being great, hunger and humility must outlast success if you want to stay great. So even when we get a measure of success, we have to hang in there with it, and we have to continue to do the hard thing and get better and better and better and never stop. Do that, by the way. All right. Zig Ziglar, my buddy. Here's a quote from him. You were designed for accomplishment, engineered for success, and endowed with the seeds of greatness. I'll read it again and then we'll finish. You were designed for accomplishment, engineered for success, and endowed with the seeds of greatness. Yes, you were. Now go be great.